Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman by heading over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
Well, hello everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to another episode of Hypecast!
It's a Hypecast.
Show where we get hyped about stuff and things. I saw you reach over and thought you were about to hit like a soundboard or something in my mind. I thought you were about to do some more
No.
zoo noises. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I'm the other co-host, David Bell.
And with us live via satellite.
Who do we got?
Is who?
This is Abe Epperson, friend of the
Hi.
site.
Hi, Abe.
Hi, Abe.
You haven't
Hi.
been on one of these in a while, I realized.
Yeah, I know, because
and
you guys are kind of
I
hard to
missed
work
you.
with. Okay.
Yeah, we're intolerable.
Yeah.
We really are.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, you're impossible to be around.
Welcome. You psyched? Is everybody psyched? Because when this comes out, it's Mindhunter Day.
Yeah.
All you
Happy
hunters out
Mindhunters
there,
Day.
yeah. All you hunt heads, ready for Mindhunter?
Long-awaited season 2. of
Season 2.
Mindhunter. I don't think we talked about a single trailer for Mindhunter on this, did we?
Yeah, we did. You might have been.
I might have
sick.
been absent that day.
Yeah.
Dave
good.
actually turned me on to Mindhunter. I was like, I thought it was a different thing. And then Dave was like, I think you're thinking of something else. I was like, is it good? And he was like, yeah. And then I watched it, and he's right. It's good.
It
It's
is good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
terrible name. Terrible
Name. It's like the worst name they could have gone with.
Yeah.
But I don't know what else he would call it.
Serial guys. Couple of
Couple of serial dudes.
serial dudes.
Serial dudes.
Yeah. You guys ready to talk about these trailers?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Are you excited?
Is
you
it-
know,
I
you
mean,
know it.
Am I hype? Yeah.
I
Are
have
you
been
hyped for
waiting
this?
all day to talk
I mean,
about
it's-
these trailers.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's better than most, but also there's some snoozers
On this list?
for me. Yeah, there's snoozers.
All right, well, let's start with Little Women.
I'm
See,
kind of
I'd
hype
hit
about
the,
this.
I'd hit the soundboard right now.
Blah, blah.
Yeah.
This looks good.
Man, It's Greta Gerwig.
I love the original. So, yeah.
I don't
But
think
it's
I've
not. It has nothing. I mean, what's wonderful about it is it's like a biopic, but it also is thematically Little Women. It's like both.
Right.
It's awesome. It's kind of a good combination of things.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this. It's got a solid cast. I mean, there's no Christian Bale. He was in the first one.
Was he?
Yeah. The original was shot, the exteriors were shot in Old Deerfield, Massachusetts, which is close to where I lived. It's like a historic, it's all fucking old. It's old. And I like that this was shot in Concord, Massachusetts. I looked it up. It's all shot throughout all of Massachusetts. So this is like how New Zealand is Middle Earth. I think the Old Women universe, Little Women universe can only be created in Massachusetts.
Right, Massachusetts is like America's Middle Earth.
Yes. Yeah, we'll go with that. It's America's Little Women Middle Earth.
Middle Earth.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see some old ass buildings. Is my
Yeah,
point.
man. You'd be
Some
sitting
middle
in a
women.
theater, just
Some
eating
middle women.
popcorn in the theater. Man, that building's crazy old.
Yeah, exactly.
Just shoveling popcorn.
There's
in
gonna be
there.
so many ghosts in this movie that we won't even notice.
Yeah.
Just there's so many ghosts being like, oh, they're filming something today. Cool.
Man, I wish we appeared on film.
Yeah.
I really like there's something about when they do trailers where it's just like you know, at the end of Act 1, you usually have your protagonist, especially if it's like an internal kind of conflict, or at least they have to make a breakthrough, or they want something, and they can put it into words where it's not like just like stop something, like I gotta shoot the guys. It's like, no, I want this to happen with my life. They usually have a monologue. Putting that monologue over like much of the trailer is such a compelling way to make a trailer.
Yeah.
Because like when she's just like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this being what the world is. And you're like, fuck yeah. And she's killing it.
Yeah, she's just like, I know this sucks.
Yeah.
I can tell this
I
sucks.
can feel it in my bones.
I don't want it, so I'm gonna not allow it to like conquer me. And that is just, it's a compelling,
right. It's a way to let us know what the film is about without
showing
without giving too much away. Yeah.
On the other thing that I noticed about this is that I am one of those compartments of pop culture that I am wholly unaware of, and every time it hits me and I'm like, oh wow, I should I put work into this? Should I know more? Is Young Hot Boys?
Oh yeah, there's
like,
some Young Hot Boys.
When there's a new one, and there's another one that we're going to be looking at later, where I'm just like, God, they're like assembly line.
They keep happening.
Yeah.
They just keep happening.
I don't think you need to be keeping up with the Young Hot Boys.
No,
much as
I don't-
I
feel like.
can't tell a nary one of them apart.
Yeah.
I can't, but I see them.
I would extend this out to young hot people in general
Yeah,
too.
it's not. It has
Especially in
nothing
the
to do with
music
it.
industry, where it's like on Twitter, I'll be like, "Oh, what is this? Who is this now?
Right,
What
right.
are
But
you? I don't know who you are."
But
I
with
don't
a lot
like
of
you.
the younger women in this particular trailer, like I recognize Emma Watson,
Right.
I recognize Lady Bird. You know, like they
Right.
have had stuff. This boy was
Well, of
completely.
course, yeah.
I don't even know his name, nor am I gonna learn it. It like completely blindsides me to be like, oh yeah, and
Right.
of course, because
He
it's
could
an
be-
updated teen thing.
Right.
Of course, it's an updated teen thing. I still think of my 20-something-year-olds as teens because that's how I grew up.
Oh yeah.
I'm still like, where's Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
Yeah.
Also, like young actors in general, they're like cats. Where like if you got a bunch of them, you don't know which ones are gonna last. They're like outdoor cats. Sorry. Where it's like you got a handful of them, and you're like, I don't know which one of these I'm going to be thinking about in 10 years. So
Right.
like this weird young hot guy in this is just like, I don't know if you're worth my time.
It's
You-
Timothy Chalamet.
What does that mean?
He's the Call Me by Your Name.
Okay.
Don't know what that is, but that's
You don't
fine. I told you I'm woefully
All right,
unprepared to understand the
Well, all right,
subculture.
But yeah, he could be a Christian
I'm
Bale
glad
later.
you
We don't
understand
know.
it.
The
You're
last Little
keeping with
Woman
it.
Last Little Woman had a Christian Bale, so it's like,
Yeah.
who can say?
No.
Who can
it
say?
is-
I won't care until I care. I get it. I get
the
it.
children. The children aren't wrong. I'm the one who is wrong.
Abe. Right.
Yeah.
Well, no. Again, it's like outdoor cats. Is I don't know which ones to get attached to yet.
Yeah. There's
It's
something
like-
about that. You know, I think if there's a bunch of performances that I can already tell are going to be pretty damn good, and
Right.
also Meryl Streep's in this. You know, like
Yeah, man.
there's such a
And
good.
Laura Dern.
Yeah, there's such a good I love it in films when older actors and younger actors are essentially like, it's not like a passing of the torch, because that's something that happens when you're like right next to each other, like, oh, the 25-year-old is handing it to like the 17-year-old or something
Right.
like that. But like in terms of generational shift and like the political moments that have happened over Meryl Streep's life, to see this movie, I really want to hear Meryl Streep's thoughts on, I mean, other than obviously she's in it. So that's one thing. That's an endorsement in itself. But I want to hear what she thinks about the process and how this movie even being made, and made like this especially, like they're probably unique thoughts, like any actor, you know,
Sure.
who's
So-
older and is like, this is not how movies used to be made.
It's also a little bit of an October Sky reunion because it's got Laura Dern and Chris Cooper in it.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell
It's about time.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Chris Cooper.
It's a spiritual
Yeah.
sequel to October Sky.
Yes.
Something
it's
we
a
need.
prequel.
I
also
love
like-
October Skies.
I know.
I also really like old actors and young actors because, like, watching them Harry Potters, I know that, like, someone taught Gary Oldman what Snapchat is. Like, on set, like, it's just fun to imagine what all the conversations are happening.
I want to imagine those kids explain. Well, I mean, this is even too young for the Harry Potter kids, but like, I want someone on this set to be trying to explain Fortnite to Chris Cooper.
Yes. Oh, God.
Hell yes.
Can you imagine?
Like,
Hell yes, dude.
You would have to, it would be a conversation where you'd have to, like, you'd start explaining it and you'd be like, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Do you not know what video games are?
he might
And
not.
then, yeah, and then you'd have to, like, go back and explain, like, okay, well, in the 80s, there was this, like, it would it would be great.
And then just cut to at the end of production, Chris Cooper's just giving everyone dabs.
Yes. Chris Cooper dabbing.
He's just like, here's your lunch, Mr. Cooper. I'm gonna give you a dab.
Here's a dab for you.
Just dab for you, dab for you. It's like, all right, Chris Cooper dabs.
He's dabbing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's his thing now.
It's
He's dabbing.
it's oh man, that's the thing that is ruins something is the second, like, the dab dads.
Right.
You know, then the children don't want it anymore.
I think you're going to say the second Chris Cooper does it.
The second Chris Cooper
He's
does
the
it
trend
is
killer.
the litmus test for society to say
Yeah.
a trend is over. That would be so sad. That would be so sad if not because it's not right. It could be very right. That could be very correct. But that would be so sad if you, out of all of society, were chosen to be like the second you do any new trend or fad.
It would be
it is
sad,
over.
but
I'm not far from that person.
right, but it would give you so much power.
Like,
Yeah. and then Chris Cooper just sad dab.
Yeah.
oh.
Sad dab. Okay, so any more thoughts on Little Women? I feel like we've covered everything.
Yeah, we got the
we covered all the
dabs.
bases. All
Yeah.
the bases.
I mean, there's not much to say. If I would encourage people to go watch the original. It's all some real boring stuff that's great. You know, it's one of them. It's one of them dramas.
Do
It's
they
one of
still
them
do
90s
they still
dramas.
do the do I mean, this is probably not the right people to ask, but like if anyone is on the younger side, do they still make elementary school children read Little Women?
I didn't read it in elementary.
It
You
would
didn't
be-
read it.
Yeah,
Oh.
it would be weird if I
Alright.
had an immediate answer for you. If
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
would
"Oh
be
yeah,
weird.
absolutely."
Yeah, they
But
totally do.
Dave,
I've got
did
the
you-
curriculum right in front of me.
Did you
I-
read this when you were young?
I don't know. I didn't retain anything in school,
Mhm.
so like,
Oh, okay. Okay. You're
I
one of
don't
those.
remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember they taught us about the Holocaust in second grade, and I remember
Oh,
even
yeah.
second grade being like, "I feel like I'm too young to learn this."
No, you got to start young about the Holocaust.
It kind of, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I turned out good.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I apparently remember from elementary school.
Well, if you were going to retain anything,
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
That's one of the big ones. It's
yeah,
a biggie.
that's one of the big ones.
Yeah. Okay, no way to pivot off of that into the next trailer.
But there is a later one coming up. The Terrence.
Oh
Malick
yeah,
one.
there are, but this isn't the one. This isn't the one.
I mean, we
We're
can
on-
switch the order if you want to pivot more.
No, I
cleanly.
don't want it. It's too late. We've made it weird. We've made it weird. The next trailer is Invader Zim. Enter the Florpus.
Mm.
What are you guys thinking?
I was a huge Invader Zim fan, so
Okay.
I'm excited to watch this.
I was a huge Johnny the Homicidal Maniac fan.
Same.
It's one of the few comics I completed. And I never got into Invader Zim, not because it was bad, because I just sort of moved on into like different interests at that point in my life,
Mhm.
and I just didn't have the time for it, if that makes sense.
I saw Zim first,
Oh yeah?
and then I read Johnny the Homicidal
Oh,
Maniac,
okay.
and then I read Squee.
Yeah, Squeeze not bad. And then there was, oh shit, I forgot the other one.
I Feel Sick.
I Feel Sick, which I really liked. I always thought they should have made a Johnny the Homicidal Maniac film or show.
Something, yeah.
And it feels like now we're way too late. Would be grotesque to do some of the stuff in that, and it would be real edgelord shit.
Yeah,
like him
I
just
don't.
doing mass like killings.
Well, it's
and,
because his house is possessed by a demon, and he has to feed the walls.
Right. No,
so you
yeah.
could make that movie.
It's a pretty great premise. Abe, do you have any thoughts on Zim?
I'm not going to waste your time. My knowledge of this topic is that I know I've heard Invader and Zim said next to each other as words.
It's a cool idea for a kids
That's
show.
very funny.
Yeah, which is
Yeah,
that
no,
it's,
yeah.
Like this,
It looks
this,
like very Animaniacs-y, you know? Like
sure.
not dissimilar. Yeah.
See, I'm already wasting our time.
I had this and Family Guy were the shows that I would like download on my computer freshman year of college. Like I had a bunch of episodes of Zim saved and a bunch of Family Guy episodes saved.
Is this a new show or is this?
It's like a new movie.
Okay, what else did they just bring back? The Netflix just brought back
Rocko's Modern Life.
Okay, I never watched that. That was
Neither did I.
Yeah, I was
didn't watch
too
Rocko.
old, I think, for that stuff. There's like that Rugrats era. It was that sort of thing as we didn't have cable growing up really. And so once I finally did get cable, it was past that like Nickelodeon shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, I watched Rugrats and everything.
Yeah.
Those are part of the first three Nicktoons were Doug, Rugrats, and Ren and Stimpy.
Right. I never got cable until I was older, so I never did those early cartoons. Like
And
I was more
Rocko
like
is
Beavis and Butthead and stuff like that.
Rocco is a dog. And
I guess.
And Rugrats are not tiny rats that live in rugs.
No.
They're babies.
They're
little babies, and it's the
And what is it? What is a Doug? What is a Doug?
Oh
Doug
God,
is
he's
a
hideous. I don't know what that is.
Turd. He's
Yeah.
just
Okay,
like
he's
a
a
turd.
No,
human.
I never got
I'm
into
getting
Doug.
human boy.
Little every day, learn a little bit more.
Mhm.
He's a human boy. But yeah, Invader Zim. I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! I like Florpus. What is that? Is that something?
Don't know.
That,
We're
that's
gonna
a
find
new
out.
thing. All right, cool.
I assume it's like genitals enter the Florpus.
Yeah, it's got
like
a Rick and Morty.
It does have a Rick and Morty feel,
Yeah, Florpus is
like
like
a plumbus.
a plumbus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking
Yeah.
of.
This next trailer I know I watched today and I don't remember it based on the title. Night Hunter?
Oh yeah, that's the thriller
Ooh, I'm
With-
in for this.
with Henry Cavill and Alexander Daddario and somebody else is in it.
And what else happens? I'm still making I'm drawing a blank.
It's kind of like it's sort of like a Hannibal Lecter thing where they've
Yeah.
arrested the guy, but murders
She's like
are still
a
happening.
investigator, and he's like a knockdown. Like he's a SWAT guy. It seems
Right,
Like
he
his
booby
job.
traps his house.
They're both specialists. He specializes in breaking into the homes of these horrible, I guess serial rapists, murderers, or kidnappers. We're unsure. I'm pretty sure this one is all of them.
All of the above.
And then Alexandra Daddario plays like a interrogator of some kind, or just a straight detective.
You guys gonna watch this?
I think I will because I
Yeah,
like both
this
of
is
these
right up your
actors.
alley, bro.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like a '90s thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's-
just like that the
it
pull
is.
quote was impressively polished. Like that's what they put in the
It
trailer.
looks good.
Because it feels like it was something like if you're forced to give positive feedback, that's the feedback you would give if you can't think of anything else to say.
Mhm.
But-
the Tooch is in it.
Yeah, the
Tucci
Tucci
is in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stanley Tucci. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna watch the shit out of this. 90s thriller serial killer. I mean,
Oh yeah. And the killer was in Freddy vs. Jason
Oh really?
and an episode of Supernatural.
Okay, good for him.
Yeah, he's getting work.
Yeah, good on him.
for him.
Good on him.
Yeah, it
Dave,
looks
I
good.
noticed
I'll watch
you
shit out of
wrote a
this.
note. You said one of the pull quotes is impressively polished, which I
just
saw.
yeah.
Yeah. That you,
Which
do you have anything to say about that? Because I do.
Well, he
I
just-
mean, I literally just said it.
yeah, he just said it.
Yeah, the student film aspect of it. It really is one of those things that sounds like they're just like new directors. You gotta love them though. They're gonna do well. We swear.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think this is going to be very middle of the road. I think this is going to be very Along Came a Spider, where you're like, where it's one of those films that you've seen and you know you've seen it, but then you can't for the life of you remember it. And then you go back and watch it, you're like, oh, yeah, I sort of, I kind of remember
Michael
this.
Wincote wore a lot of facial prosthetics in Along Came a Spider.
I think you're thinking of A Murder of Crows, Tom.
I'm not.
Really? Because in A Murder of Crows, it's about the killers in prosthetics.
Well,
that's the twist.
In Along Came a Spider, Michael
Spoilers.
Wincote's the kidnapper, but the bad guy turns out to be Monica Potter.
Okay. Spoilers for A Murder of Crows and Along Came a Spider. Because A Murder of Crows, the twist is that the killer has been disguising himself as various people throughout Cuba Gooding Jr.'s like story in that movie. So like
exhausting.
He's like a makeup artist. But what's funny about it is you watch it now and it's like, why is that guy in old man makeup? Wait, why is that guy wearing a fake mustache? And so as you're watching it, it's like you can tell, like, because the makeup isn't quite good enough. So the twist doesn't work because you're like, why is this man constantly showing up in weird makeup? And then they're like, it was me. And it's like, oh, yeah, I saw you.
Yeah, I noticed you every time. You really stood out, man.
Yeah, I noticed you in that Austin Powers getup. Like, it's, yeah, everybody watched that movie.
Weirdo.
Sorry I spoiled it.
You know what also it reminds me of is 1999's The Bone Collector.
Oh, yeah.
Starring Angelina Jolie and Denzel.
Is that, yeah, Denzel. Oh, great. These are all great.
We should
and then
watch
some
all
of them are Alex Cross films.
Along Came a Spider is.
Along Came a Spider is. And then the Alex Cross film everybody should watch. I thought that was fucking great. That was newer.
Yeah, that was the one.
That was a real
Tyler
thriller.
Perry.
It was a real 90s thriller.
Yeah, for sure. Let's move on.
Let's not. Let's keep. Okay.
I have more about The Bone
I mean,
Collector.
we can make a show where we just talk about 90s thrillers.
I mean, yeah, I guess we'll have to.
We should write
Did you guys
90s
watch-
thriller.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
What were you going to
What were you
ask?
gonna ask
Hey,
me
what
to
were you
watch?
going to ask?
Just the screenwriter of The Bone Collector also wrote a movie called Blood In, Blood Out.
Ooh.
So
Is
the
it-
guy's just fascinated with body, like in what's inside the body.
Okay, hold on. I understand the blood out part,
Mm-hmm.
but what's the blood in part?
You take the blood after you take it out. You put the blood in.
Is this about someone on dialysis who's like becomes a
Maybe it's
murderer?
talking about the
Actually,
heart.
it's a gang war film. So I think Blood In is a reference to East Los Angeles, like getting initiated into the gang.
Okay, I like my version better.
I like my version better, where they're just taking blood.
Maybe they're vampire gang members.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
That's a real concept.
Speaking of the Holocaust,
Yeah.
A Hidden Life is the next one.
Yeah.
Terry Malick.
I was really into watching this movie until Terrence Malick's name popped up at the end.
Has he done movies that are
That are
he did
watchable.
the Thin Red
and-
Line. That's like a
Yeah.
that's like
He's done.
he does movies that have stories, right?
He's like a good. He's good, but he also. All right. Here's the best way to say what Terrence Malick is. He invites the people that watch his films and love his films and review his films
Mhm.
are of like an elitist higher echelon. Look at the opening quote that starts everything. Cinema at its mightiest and holiest, a movie you enter like a cathedral of the senses. Like,
Get
think
the
about
fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here and buying popcorn over here. It's like it's
Fuck out of my face
so
with that.
it's so fucking up its own ass.
I know.
It doesn't mean that as a director and as like a collaborator, he makes stuff that isn't like thoroughly human and like very interesting to watch on its own merit. He always even Tree of Life, which I have the same problem with, is very up its own ass, but at the same time is like, oh, that's interesting. That is kind of that is how we just ad hoc do social structures and families.
Yeah,
There's like a thesis that's interesting, but he's just, I can't take you seriously, man. You're the only, you want everything to be seen in salons and shit.
His
Right.
movies. I do enjoy I enjoyed watching Tree of Life because I really like the visuals of that movie.
Yeah, his visuals are always gorgeous.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll skip ahead. Here and
Right.
there.
They're so meandering
Yeah.
and like,
Yeah.
it's just like,
Also-
man, please just tell me a story, you bastard.
Yeah.
I also like the idea that if you watch the trailer, I'm sure he used more than one lens on the film, but if you watch the trailer, it looks like it was made by a movie made by people who forgot lenses.
Right.
They're just like, we only have this one. Oh shit, okay. Because every shot looks the same to me.
What's the one he did with... Oh, sorry.
No, that's it. That's just...
what's the one he did with Batfleck? He did one with the Ben Affleck?
Oh, Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck?
Shit. Yeah. Shit.
It was like something. It was words. There were definitely words.
Well, I mean, usually titles to
Yeah, they
the
usually
wonder.
Yeah, I remember there was
To the
interviews with
wonder.
Affleck about how he just didn't understand what the fuck was happening. Like, that's
Right.
kind of... I like that he gets, like, Brad Pitt and Sean Penn, and these actors you can tell are probably not quite into it, but, like, someone told them, like, look, you just gotta do a Terrence Malick film.
He's got Sean Penn more than once.
Oh, okay.
Sean Penn's
right up his alley, frankly.
And I
think they get it. They smell each
Right.
other's farts.
Yeah,
I think-
they like being up their own asses.
I think it was Tree of Life, because there's multiple movies I've heard this about, but I think it was Tree of Life that when it played in a theater in France, and they accidentally put the reels in the wrong order, and nobody noticed.
Yeah, that's too loud.
Right.
Which is not the best sign about your movie.
No, that if I was the editor, I would be like, oh no.
That's a real bummer. That's a real bummer.
So yeah, it's a movie about.
This looks like it actually has a plot.
Well, yeah, this is definitely about Nazi-occupied France. I think.
And it looks like it has like a whole plot, and not just it's going to be Brad Pitt in a field for 2 hours.
And it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Just
It's
from
gonna
a visual
do-
standpoint.
Cannes gonna eat it up. Toronto's gonna eat it up. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I can't. Terrence Malick, man, I just can't.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think there's two types of Terrence Malick, and I think the type where he's like wakes up and he's like, I think I'll do it, like make an actual movie, with like a story. I think that's what this is, and so I think it'll be more tolerable.
Maybe, man.
Like, if Terrence Malick and what's his face, John Malkovich were ever to like do something together, I'd be like, I bet this is gonna be really good, and I'm gonna fucking hate it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'll probably forget about this movie.
But this one's about World War II. There's something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something.
Yeah,
it's
there's
at
not
least
many
not
World War
just
II
like
movies out there, you know?
Slice of life. It's like at least it's not about like the
That's what I mean.
leaves.
Right,
Like,
like
in
a
the last-
microcosm of the human experience.
Right,
Yeah,
like,
it's
I
like,
think,
oh
like,
shit, some political stuff. Yeah.
In the last like 15 years of Terrence Malick's career, I think like 6 things have happened in his movies. Like just things.
Right.
Like
Actual events.
yeah.
Identifiable events.
Yeah, not just walking around. I love Tree of Life. The dinosaur sequence is fucking great. That's one of my favorite dinosaur sequences in a movie, because the way he shot that is I think it was either he didn't tell the cinematographer or he directed the cinematographer in a way to tell him, like, you're not filming dinosaurs. There's not going to be dinosaurs in these shots. And so the dinosaurs, they weren't shooting for, like, okay, then a dinosaur.
They were
is gonna be-
landscape. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They weren't.
And
the
then he told
portrait.
the special effects artist, like, yeah, don't make the dinosaurs the subject of the shots. They're just in the shots. And it's, like, done really well.
Yeah, it makes it
'cause
feel, because we're so used to seeing like, fuck, it's a dinosaur.
Right. Yeah.
he does to dinosaurs what he does to everybody in his films. They're just meandering.
Yeah.
It's like a brief Terrence Malick presents dinosaurs like walking in a field.
Right.
Yeah.
He would make the dullest ass dinosaur movie.
Now I really want.
He would like make Godzilla like eating a baguette and fucking reading a newspaper, for God's sake.
I really want a full Terrence Malick dinosaur film where it has like the haunting music, and then every now and then there's voiceover, and the voiceover is just like.
It should just be like a dinosaur like jumps and like destroys another dinosaur and just starts eating its neck out, and then it stops and it looks over at a waterfall and just admires the beauty of it, you know?
Oh man.
Fucking
So that's Terrence Malick.
Terrence
fucking
Malick.
TM, baby.
TM?
TM. He's got an entourage. You know that,
Team
right?
out.
Of course he does.
Terrence Malick's got a huge entourage.
Mm-hmm. What would they
They're-
call themselves? The T-Pack?
No, they don't. Their names are symbols. Their names aren't words.
Yeah.
That's fair. Next trailer is Low Tide. This is
This is like a simple plan with kids.
I was thinking this is Gritty Goonies.
Oh yeah,
This is like
this one.
if
I'm
Goonies
kinda,
got real dark.
I thought
Yeah,
this
they
was
do
gonna
find
go
pirate
one.
treasure.
I thought this was gonna go a different way halfway through. This is A24.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna go a completely different way, and I was very sad because it's basically they find treasure, and then these kids like Goonies, and then after they find treasure, they realize that they're like the group itself is like being torn apart by greed. Is that everyone else's scan of it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's,
like I
they're
said,
learning
it-
about coming of age and how horrible
Yeah.
the world can be with selfishness. And
Yeah, like I said, it looks like a simple plan with teens.
Yeah.
yeah. I was hoping that they were gonna get haunted by a ghost pirate.
Well, right, because it's A24, and the first fucking kid you see is a kid from It.
Yeah. A24
So I was
is
like, yeah, monsters.
funny because they do dramas all the time,
yeah,
but
this
they don't
pirate gold.
advertise them as much.
Yeah.
I want some pirate ghouls.
Yeah.
I
They
want-
should. Maybe there's going to be pirate ghouls in this. We don't
There
know.
might be. I don't.
But
know.
I feel like if there were, they would tell us.
yeah, they might show us a pirate.
Or
ghoul.
I mean, like, it doesn't even have to like murder them. It could just Captain Ron them. You know,
Right.
I don't
or
know
like-
what that means.
or like mud them, like take them
Haunt
and like
them in a different way.
to haunt them by just like teaching them life lessons and just like taking them under
and
their
being
wing.
delightful and taking
Just
them on a
being
delightful
delightful and
family
Right.
cruise.
opening their eyes to the ways of the sea.
Right.
Okay, Tom, do you understand more now? What it
Yeah,
means to be Captain Ron? Have you seen that film?
I've seen Captain Ron, but for the life of me, when you said I hope the ghost Captain Ron's them, I could not even begin to imagine what you meant.
Turns
Well.
them into Kurt Russell.
Yeah,
No, clearly not a
the
Captain Ron
curse.
fan.
turns into Kurt Russell with an eye patch.
Curse of the Russell.
Curse of the Russell. Wait, he turns you into himself?
Yeah, you become
Yeah.
Kurt Russell.
You become
That's
Kurt
a
Russell.
weird curse.
Like you slowly, like your hair gets like more feathery,
Yeah,
and
you're
then
like,
you get more grizzled, and
and then you're like,
like-
what happened? What's next? He's like, that's it. That's all that happened.
that's the curse.
That's the
You're
curse.
like, oh, okay. All
Tommy
right.
pissed off the cat.
did.
Tom just pissed off the cat.
Piss that cat right off. She's
Uh,
furious.
All right, next one,
Low
guys?
tide. Yeah.
Next one?
Fuck, the best one on the list.
Yes, this was gonna be in my movie that deserved more hype.
Oh, Parasite.
Parasite. I think
Yeah.
this is only
This is
a
gonna
day
be
old, so I was like, I
awesome.
think this is just gonna blow up on its own.
Yeah, everyone was
It
talking
already
about
is
it at
kind
Collider
of
today.
Yeah.
Everyone was talking about
This-
this trailer.
Is the
It
director of The
looks
Host
Awesome.
and The Snowpiercer,
and Mother. Yeah.
and Mother, and it looks great.
Yeah. It's I forget the name of the actor, but he's been in a bunch of stuff. He was also in Snowpiercer. He's also in
Yeah.
The Host. He was in what was another Korean film that he was in? He was in Thirst, where he plays a
He is in
vampire
Thirst.
priest. Yeah. He's like their fucking Tom Cruise. Like,
Right.
he's just in everything. And he rules. He can do comedy. He can do action. He can do a lot of stuff.
I'm not certain what this is about, but there's some great comedic beats
It's-
already in the trailer.
It's a fantastic trailer because you
Mhm.
kind of glean what it is, but you don't really know.
Right.
And I kind of think that the name might give it, like, I have a theory, but like,
Yeah, same.
yeah, but it's probably the same theory too,
Yeah.
because it's all in the name. But yeah, it's very, very cool, and it has to do with poor and rich society.
yeah.
Right, it's class structure.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's like some sinister shit going on
Right,
in
the
there.
trailer. If you haven't seen it, you should watch his fucking trailer
Yeah,
because
it
it starts out like a comedy,
Yeah.
and then it pivots halfway through to be like, oh shit,
Yeah.
some serious shit is going to go down.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic. I'm very excited.
Yeah,
for
I
this
think
movie.
my theory is that it's about a grasper,
A what now?
a social climber, a social grasper.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that the parasite might have a double meaning in that the lower class person who's, talented Mr. Rippling, the rich family,
Right.
is, yes, that's one version of a parasite, but also that rich people are parasitic on poor people's backs. And I think it's going to be there's going to be a duality, and it's going to probably investigate both sides and make all people kind of deplorable.
Make them all look awful.
Yeah,
it's going to be a real Snowpiercer.
It's going to be great because
Right.
there's kids in this film, and it's a
This
comedy.
person clearly has some themes. See, I wanted to be about brainworms, but that's just me.
All right.
I don't think there's going to be any monsters.
I want
It's got some
flamethrower
themes. I want it to be about
murders. And they're just nuking people, and they don't know, and they tying people to chairs.
Yeah.
And the parasite turns you into Kurt Russell.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With an eye patch.
Yep. Everyone's getting Captain Ron today.
Everybody's
Captain
getting
Ron.
around.
Yeah. I love also the opening. The opening image is flicking a spider,
Yeah.
and then the next scene is about they're exterminating the street, and they're like, leave the window open so that we get free extermination.
Oh, yeah.
So they're putting their own health at hazard because they can't pay for it. But it's also the flicking of the spider, which is a predator of lower insects. Like, there's so much bundled up already.
Oh, yeah.
In the first two lines of the trailer. It's great.
Yeah,
This is
I
gonna
love
be a
this
great film.
director.
This movie's going to rule.
Yeah.
That said, I saved the best trailer for the last one. Because we have
Sure.
Last Christmas, you guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee! Well, there's already, have you noticed, have you seen on the internet, there's already theories about this movie? Which, when you hear the theories, you're like, oh, okay. The theory being that she's dead, and he's an angel. Or that he's a ghost, and gave his heart to her. Because if you watch the trailer, there's
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, and the very next day, you gave it
And
away.
she's
Exactly.
like, you always, like, we accidentally run into each other.
exactly,
not
you always keep
accidentally.
showing up. Like, there's
Yeah.
clearly something, if you watch the trailer, you're like, yeah, they're hiding a twist in this trailer.
Yes. They
Yeah,
are.
it's last Christmas. I don't, because
Yeah.
that's not even a thing. Like, no one says, like, well, it really was a last Christmas. Like,
Yeah.
no one says
ju-
it.
it's
a
only
made-up
to
thing.
Right. It's only to reference the Wham song
Yeah.
or the George Michael song.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't
that's true. It's George Michael.
Yeah.
Because he's all over this trailer. And as we know,
It's that
he-
song.
He
And then they play,
famously
yeah.
came back from the dead. So,
Right. Like Jesus.
He is risen.
Yeah.
George Michael.
George Michael.
Yeah, it's directed by Paul Feig.
Really?
Yeah.
And I don't know how
I
feel
don't care
that.
about Parl.
I
mean, he's not
may-
bad. It's just like
I
making
may-
twist movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't,
Which we don't
like.
even know.
I haven't really enjoyed his comedies, and I may be one of the only people I've talked to that didn't like A Simple Favor.
I haven't seen that yet, and I want to because it looks fucking crazy.
It is.
I don't-
It is crazy in all of the bad ways.
There was that Every Frame a Painting about Edgar Wright that pointed it out. And since then, like, I haven't been able to enjoy a lot of comedies where they're just like, the camera is just stationary and they just film comedians doing improv.
Yes.
And that's still sort of happening. It feels like it's happening less now.
Well,
but Paul
definitely hope it
Feig
happens
was like,
online because out of necessity of budget and such. But like for
right,
cinema,
for movies,
why
yeah.
are we making? It's because it's like, oh, let's take a bunch of directors who more or less came from the school of like Funny or Die,
Right.
like
And Paul
Adam
Feig-
McKay and
Yeah, and none of them are bad directors. And Paul
No.
Feig isn't a bad director, but it's like, I mean, it was what the issue with the new Ghostbusters, besides the fact that we just don't need more Ghostbusters, but like, the first Ghostbusters is kind of like a visual film. Like, it has,
yeah.
it's like well shot. It's a sci-fi movie, and then
Yeah,
they
it's
made
a-
it like a broad comedy where everything's just like brightly lit and the actors just stand there and
Yeah.
throw
it's
jokes at
polished.
each other.
Yeah, it's polished. It's shot in the most HD of formats, but it's
Yeah.
not like
that's
thought out and from a production, a choreography, setting, staging
Right.
standpoint. It's not real
Yeah.
directing.
and that's the problem with A Simple Favor.
Is it shot like that?
It's not, but he couldn't resist throwing improv into it.
Right.
So it's like this thriller that has these sort of like the new Halloween, where it has these very bizarre, jarring moments of like, this is
right. This
is all of a sudden it's an Apatow comedy,
right?
For a couple of lines.
Where the
it's like,
tone
what
just-
the fuck is this?
Yeah. Last Christmas seems more in line with, okay, this brand of comedy will work. I just hope it's got a real fucked up twist. I hope it's got
I'm
something
sure
real
it does.
stupid.
We've probably one of the things we've said is absolutely what it is.
Well, what if he turns her into Kurt Russell?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And this is her last Christmas as not
as
not
Amelia
Kurt
Clark.
Russell.
Yeah, I'm also very tired of the like I don't know, the depression arc. I mean, I know depression is a very real thing, but
Sure.
the way that it's displayed in movies of like, and this movie may have more claim than other movies do with like Manic Pixie Dream Girl stuff, where it's like she clearly had a midlife crisis because she had some sickness. She, her heart, obviously there was an issue, and that's why she now drinks. That's why she now does all that stuff. But she's just so kooky and, cute. Mm-hmm. And she wears rain boots and dresses. It's
Right.
like, I'm it's like post-twee, but it's like post-twee in a way that I'm like, you're still kind of twee. You're still making the Garden States a little bit.
Right.
Do we need another fucking beanie to be on our main character? Just because of the color palette. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think this movie has claim to it more than most because obviously she's had a tragedy and has had a midlife crisis. But the quirkiness meets the, like, tortured soul aspect of the romantic comedy actor or actress really always throws me off. Because it's not that it's not an interesting character. It's just that it's been done so often.
I get bothered by, and again, this is one of those things you can't really change, which is whenever a like hot like actor or actress plays like a broken like alcoholic, and it's like, now you look great. Like I know that's just the nature of all of this.
Yeah,
that's how movies work. But there's definitely that element of like,
it really extends that suspension of disbelief.
Yes, it's always a real polished look at these things. I guess all right, so that's it for trailers. Guys, Tom had to step out. He got raptured.
Oh.
Tom had to get raptured. So me and Abe are going to continue the stories for the rest of this. It's not nobody worry.
Yeah, but if you're also worried about the rapture, God bless, everybody.
He was the only one. I think no one else.
Let's have so he's the only one.
The only one.
You already checked. Yep, I'm not seeing anything on Twitter. Yep, it looks like he was the only one raptured. Sorry,
he's gonna show up, and Jesus is gonna be like, "Yeah, you were the only one who liked RoboCop the most."
Yeah.
That's all it was
adequate
about.
Amount. Yeah,
yeah, that was all about RoboCop.
Yeah.
So
we hang with Jesus.
Yeah. So let's move on to the news stories, Abe.
Yeah. Okay. Let's hit it.
Yeah. The hunt was canceled.
Yeah, and I kind of fine with it.
Yes. Here's the thing. A couple Hypecasts ago, I was chatting with Adam Todd Brown, and we were talking about how this looked good. And it did kind of look good. The trailers. I don't like why it was canceled. In that, I don't like the added political aspects to it.
Mm-hmm.
But then the more I dug into this film, it's written by Damon Lindelof. So I was like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And it was originally called Red State versus Blue State. Ooh, and so immediately it was like, I don't think we need this. And I honestly, and then it apparently got bad test screenings. So I think what might have happened. I think what might have happened is Universal or whoever. Yeah, it's Universal. The meeting wasn't them like, the president doesn't want us to release this movie. They were probably like, oh, thank God, an excuse to not release this movie.
Yeah, it's always scary to me because like sometimes that's like the perfect film because test audiences not liking it means it made everyone very uncomfortable,
right?
Which could be good, and I don't like the fact that Trump put pressure on them, obviously. So that is Like, that bothers me from like an artist perspective, but I also acknowledge the fact that like Universal and other studios do this all the time because they want to make more money. It doesn't have anything to do with the politics. So it's just like, it's like a fucking maelstrom of different things to think about. And you're just like, now you just got to prioritize. And you know what? I think I'm fine with it not being made because it probably isn't good. It's hard to make something really good with that much shit surrounding it.
It's also, it just seems inflammatory and kind of shitty, like, because it's about blue state liberal elites hunting red state Trump supporters.
Yeah, I thought they would pin it around, or like, because movies need a twist, like that.
Well, the idea is then the red staters like fight back,
right?
And it's like, that's certainly the dynamic of violence that's disproportionately happening in this country. All those liberals doing all the violence. And it's that where it's like, I'm not saying that as a partisan way. I'm saying that in a way of just, if you look at the statistics of violence in America, it's literally the opposite of that.
Right.
And so it's weird that they would put this out because it's just feels like it would just make everybody unhappy. And feel very blind to any, like, it. I bet it had no message in it that was
I bet it was on par with like Shooter or like Red Dawn or something.
Right,
where
I
it's
love
just
Shooter.
Like,
that's the Mark Wahlberg one.
Well, yeah. But it's all just like flags behind guns. Like it's like freedom, baby. And it's like, if that's what the movie you're making.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons. I was hoping it wouldn't be, but there's just something I'm really worried about.
Yeah, and I'm sure it'll be released later.
I'd rather not be released if it even is close to that, and it sounds like it will.
Yeah.
And it's just like I wouldn't watch it.
We don't
anyway.
need this. Yeah, we don't need this shit right now.
But I mean, like, I probably wasn't gonna watch it anyway, so really, what does it matter? Obviously, you vote on things every day by just not participating in them, but it's shitty to know that they exist, I guess.
Yeah, and this will come out. You'll see it on streaming or something.
Yeah, it's gonna get an international release, right? Because there's money on the table. Yeah, it
just seems like the fact that it started with red state versus blue state is just like that. Just already sounds like not the movie we need, unless it circled back to some positive ass message. And maybe it tried to, but maybe it was just from the fact that test audience were like, we don't understand this. So I have a feeling it was
coherent.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I'm not really scared of, but I'm just like, I could see happening and that would bum me out, is that Universal just waits. The sad state of affairs is that, like, I don't know if it's ever gonna be again that we can wait out mass shootings.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I could see this being re-released at a different time just because, like, lightning struck.
This is a totally different conversation, but I do think mass shootings will eventually go away. But
God, I hope so.
I don't think they can wait them out because, it's not. I don't mean like tomorrow,
Right.
So
yeah.
They'll probably quietly release it at some point.
They're no Disney, am I right?
They are no Disney.
They can't just choke it to death.
Yeah, that's true.
Choke the world's problems to death with their money.
Oh man, Disney.
Disney. Oh yeah.
Speaking of money makers, Sony is making a sequel to the movie Searching. Mm-hmm. Did you see Searching, Abe?
No, I did not.
Ooh.
And I feel bad saying that because one of my friends wrote it.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you tell your friend that I really liked his movie?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Because
I don't talk to him much.
Okay, well, just text him. Just text him.
Just text him. My friend liked your movie. He's like, you and a bunch of other people. Did you see Deadline?
Yeah, you should see Searching. Here's the thing.
I like the thought behind it. I just...
right.
Yeah, I don't know. It
genre
just isn't the movie for me. I bet it's really good.
Well, this genre of, it's like found footage of, we see everything's through the perspective of the screen.
Yeah.
Me and Tom have talked about this previously, is what's funny about that hook is you think of it as like found footage where it's like it's another gimmick, but it actually does the opposite of found footage because it forces the movie to be all dialogue and all the actors' faces. So it actually makes it less spectacle. It's actually more reliant on good writing and good performances.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, which is surprising. But like Unfriended, at least the first one, they shot that in one take because the actors were like, we need to keep up this intensity and we can't do it without doing it all in one take and stuff like that. So like there's that John Cho and Searching is very good. And the mystery is it's your classic thriller mystery, but it's very fun. And they're apparently doing a sequel without John Cho, and all I can think is like, we'll just do another movie. Like it doesn't have to be a sequel.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something about franchising with like the methodology,
right.
Like Blair Witch 2 versus just another found footage horror movie.
Yeah, that's fair. Just not they did this with Unfriended as well.
They like made it for like it got sold for like $6 million and then it made like 75,000 or 75 million or something like that. It's like 6 million to 75 million in like just a few months. It was like
good
crazy.
on them.
Yeah,
tell your friend I say good on him. Yeah,
very smart.
No, but I guess this is a weird pattern because Unfriended has 2 movies, and both are called Unfriended, and neither of them have anything to do with each other. And in fact, one's supernatural, one's about hackers. And Searching, again, the movie that already came out is very much completed. The story. So like I don't know why why they can't just make more of these movies and not have to like label them. But you're right. The branding is important, I guess.
I think it's important to a movie like this because it's hard. It's one of the biggest hurdles it's going over is that it's a new thing that you're not used to seeing. So by branding it, they get over the hurdle at least of like, it's just another one of those. Oh no, but it's made by the same people. Most people don't know who made what.
That's fair.
So it's just like, remember Searching? Oh yeah, I do remember Searching. Good. We're doing another thing like that. If you like that, you're gonna like this.
That's fair because Searching was like a kind of a hit. People liked it. Yeah, it makes sense. I just want this to break out into being a genre.
I think it will, undeniably because of the cost effectiveness of it. In fact, it's one of those things that I've been talking about is that we're going to get like Twitch movies, Like, we're going to get like video game studios where someone makes like a Grand Theft Auto online, like with characters and directors and stuff like that, where the camera is literally the world's camera that you see in a video game.
Right.
And they do that machinima style, but they like build it into the architecture of the game such that, like someone like Rockstar can be a producer on this movie and that'll be a film genre or Twitch movies. They already exist. You just have to look for them. But on a grand scale, I don't see why not.
Did you see that video? It was going around on Reddit of Bruce Willis making Pulp Fiction, and Tarantino is pointing like a home video camera at him, like talking to him, and Bruce Willis points to it, and he goes, in a few years, some kid's going to make a movie with one of those, and it's going to make all the money. It'll cost $60,000 to make, which is exactly the budget of Blair Witch. He just calls that shot. But I agree that it's weird because like found footage I thought did more bad than good. But this other genre, this like computer screen genre, I really think is gonna be good for movies, be good for storytelling specifically.
There'll be good writers. Yeah, it depends on where you like. Yeah, I mean, you talk to. It depends on the film. I mean, I'm sure there's directors who would love to tackle this stuff. I know as a writer with your bias, it's like, so that means I'm the major controller of the creative influence of this. I can see why that is appealing to anyone. Just like it's appealing to directors to be like, only I can decide what the shot is.
Right. It's also very limiting.
Yeah, I love that shit. I love when there's limitations. I think that make movies better sometimes.
Yeah.
There will also be shit. This genre will create absolute dog shit.
Unfriended Dark Web was not a good movie, so that's already beginning. But I think it'll be more good than bad. I think it'll challenge people to have to, because like found footage, it created this weird tension. Like the Paranormal Activities was able to like do something that people liked without having to spend a lot of money, but also not have to give a shit. You know what I mean? Like there was this like, oh yeah, we can just film something for 5 minutes and then something in the background can move and these fuckers will eat it up.
Yeah. These money mouths.
It's harder for this format to be lazy, I think. Because I don't think people would be into that. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong.
Do you remember that found footage movie Apollo 18?
Yeah, the documentary about spiders on the moon.
Yeah, where they were like, let's take found footage, a well-known strategy to save money, and let's put it on spaceships.
Yeah, I appreciated that.
And do CG monsters. It's like, wait, I thought the reason we made okay, so you're gonna make CG, but you're not gonna spend money on a camera. All right, weird. Well,
flex. that's where it went. That's what Cloverfield was, and Cloverfield,
kind of was
like. Was like I remember watching Cloverfield and being like, oh, I get it, but at this point you could just make a movie, you know, like the whole point was that you didn't have enough money to make a movie, so you'd make found footage.
I guess Cloverfield felt better because it was first of that, but then
it also added something to the genre.
It added something to the genre because it was a disaster movie, so you had a plurality of characters, but that's just mincing words. Point is, yes, it's very both dumb if you look at it from the standpoint of why do you typically choose a found footage film or like a film like this with, you know, like with Searching, where you're literally just directing a monitor experience.
Right. Speaking of new, like, I don't know, ways to make things, new formats.
Yeah,
the director of Crawl is making a choose your own adventure horror movie, which is going to be a thing now.
Oh yeah, did you watch Bandersnatch? The Netflix one? What'd you think?
It was all right. I'm getting kind of sick of the Black Mirror stuff. It was a cool idea that didn't really seem like they knew how to end it. Does that make sense? Like I was like, what does any of this mean? And they didn't know.
A lot of them just fizzle out. That's why landing your, you know, ending is hard.
Right.
You know, you kind of leave it, and that was why we went on this journey. That is the point of this movie. And if you make weird choices, it's going to be like, oh, well,
yes.
So he just died, I guess.
Yeah, and there was a lot of that where they're like, "You want to do this or this?" And it's like, "Do this." And they're like, "Okay." But you really want to do this. You should do this. And it's like, oh, okay. I guess this isn't a choice after all.
And
which is part of the point of that Bandersnatch.
I have a lot of thoughts about. I don't think that choose your own adventure movies are good for, like, they're not a good direction. I'm sure they'll have their heyday, and I'm sure they'll be fine.
Right.
And maybe I'll be the dinosaur when all movies are, you know, choose your own adventure because that's the way that culture went it or whatever. I just don't think that allowing everyone, because the way I watch those is I want to see all the footage. Like, no one,
right? You want to see, if you like it, you want to see everything.
Movie, made their one choice, and then just said, "Good movie," and then like walked away. No one did that, right? Everyone who watched the Choose Your Own Adventure, and I assume for the next ton of, you know, choose your own adventure films, you're gonna watch like, well, what if I chose this, and what you're gonna play with, because that's the purpose of interactivity, is to see like, well, what's all this about? And that is not the purpose of storytelling. The purpose of storytelling is to tell a compelling narrative.
Yes, and that's the thing, is no one's gonna be talking like with Bandersnatch. We didn't discuss the plot at all just now because it's like, what is there to discuss? We probably watched two different things. And Bandersnatch, I don't know about you, but when I got to my ending, I was like, I don't care about seeing any more of this,
right?
Because it just wasn't good enough. And I feel like if you do a choose your own adventure and you hit a lot of dead ends, then it's just like, okay, well, what's the point? So
Right.
you would have to make a movie that has like 8 endings, but then that only has to be a few limited choices along the way.
Mhm.
And then you have to make it so that any narrative someone chooses is worth watching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're right. It's like you're trying to craft a story. And if you lazily craft 8 stories,
Yeah.
it's like, well, I'd rather have just seen you put in the effort to make one good story.
Yeah,
at
and
that
the other
point.
thing is, it's like we have we have really good interactive storytelling, and we have really good classical storytelling, and this is the amalgam of the two. It's in the middle,
Right.
and I don't know if it will, like, because if you stray too far in one direction, where it's like, all right, you pull a gun out and shoot the person or don't shoot the person, and you're like, I choose to eat the gun, or something like that, like.
I hope there's an eat the gun option.
Right. Like, if you choose to do, like, you have interactivity that to the point of it's now generating a bunch of other stuff, then go play a video game.
Right.
Or if you want to be told a story, go to a movie.
Right, because that's the thing. That was the other thing about Bandersnatch I hated, is I was like, man, I'm eating. Like, stop rumbling, controller. Like, I just want to watch something.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to play a video game, I'll fucking play a video game. But, like, having to watch a movie where like every 10 minutes someone nudges you and they're like, hey, choose something, and I'm just like, I don't care, just tell the story, choose it yourself, you fuckers. That's why we hired you. Tell the story.
You tell the story, and show me something I wasn't expecting, something I
Right.
wasn't thinking about.
Right.
Don't tell me, do you want the thing that you're not expecting?
Right.
Well, yeah, I want to eat the gun, obviously.
It also kind of takes away the characters, the agency of the characters you're watching, because it's like,
That's why Bandersnatch was kind of good, is because
that was the point.
He's like, you sick fucks.
Yeah, but like, and when they start doing this without it, because Bandersnatch is very what's fucking meta, but when they start doing it when it's not meta, then it's just like I feel very little connection to these characters. Because I'm just deciding what they should decide.
And if I don't, and if they're like, well, then that ends the story because you chose like a maniac, and that means there's no story here. Do you want to go back to chapter 2?
Right.
Yeah. Revive my fucking character that I apparently really care about, if they live or not. No, I don't.
Yeah,
obviously.
this I don't think this is gonna.
Someone might make something that, like, that's what I think you said it best with the meta stuff, because like someone might make something that it's like, oh, what a delightfully meta movie or meta game, but I don't think it's even in the movie sphere. I mean, I understand the whole point of this is that they're sliding into each other because they're literally using it in a browser, and there's browser games, but I'm just saying, like, at some point games are going to beat this.
Yeah,
in terms of that meta interactivity, they already have. I mean, they have already done it in format, but I mean, they tell a story that is like this, like something that has a choose your own aspect, adventure aspect to it.
Right.
And movies are going to be like, well, fuck, they can make it so much faster because they already have all the actors and stuff.
Yeah, I think someone just realized that this was possible, and they're doing it without questioning whether or not it's a good idea.
And they're selling it. Selling it.
You gotta sell it. Yes. Next story. Neil Blomkamp has exited the new RoboCop movie. MGM will continue making it. Not sure why.
Yeah, I mean, that is typical. There's something that neither side wants people to see, so they don't need to reveal that information. Like, I wanted more money or creative differences, or it's just probably a boring reason, but has
not sure why they're going to continue, because this
continue
feels like
the RoboCop.
Yeah, what this feels like to me is that they made that shitty reboot that no one needed, because they fundamentally didn't understand what RoboCop was. They're like, let's make a non-violent RoboCop that's not a satire. And everybody was like, it was like the remake of Point Break or Red Dawn or Total Recall, where it's like, you don't understand this property at all. And I feel like Neil Blomkamp came around and was like, guys, I understand this property because I imagine he does. And he started making it, and then something happened, and they're like, well, let's keep going anyway. And it's like, no, just cancel it. You had one guy who knew who had an idea. Like, that's what it feels like.
Yeah. Okay.
That's kind of what I think happened with the Edgar Wright Ant-Mans, is that the result, those Ant-Mans aren't the worst, but clearly they had Edgar Wright there who was like, I have a very clear idea of what I want to do here.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very unique. And then when he left, they were like, keep it going. And it's like, all right.
Yeah, because it's still going to make money. It's just not we just didn't want you to have such creative control over such a minutia. MGM's probably just wants its RoboCop they probably wants to make something that's a little grittier, but still not like crazy gritty of RoboCop. And because like RoboCop, the remake made money, so they're going to make money. I don't think that how do you say his name? Blomkamp?
Blomkamp. Neil Blomkamp.
No, I don't. I know what he's made. I don't find him particularly interesting.
Well,
because so I don't care about his version of it.
Here's
Is
the
he
thing.
well known as like a really good director to
No,
people?
I was gonna say I think the internet agrees with you. I think he made the one movie that everybody was impressed by,
which is District 9. Yeah.
And then I think what we learned for his falling films is he's only got that one idea.
Yeah,
because it's all the gritty, gross future. They should have given him a Star Wars. Is what they should have done. He's perfect for a Star Wars because he didn't have any new ideas after that. He made Chappie and Elysium, and it was just like, these are all kind of whatever. They should have given him a writer and just been like, make one of these Star Wars, and it would have been great.
Yeah, I know that he has a knack for technical proficiency. He's a very good technical director. Yeah, because District 9 was insanely good. And shot and done on a budget that like came out of fucking nowhere, out of South Africa. Right. I mean, he gave us the gift of Charles II. Yes. And so like he also has an eye for casting. It's he's really not, I don't think he's a bad director. I just think that what idea did he excite everyone about?
I think it's the writing aspect. I think he's just not. He has that like Robert Rodriguez low budget spirit that makes people like him, but I don't think people are that thrilled about. Like his movies don't seem to fizzle out a bit since District 9. So I think it's purely the writing side. He was going to do that Alien sequel where he was going to bring back Michael Biehn and like just pretend Alien 3 didn't happen, and it was like, no, like I get the instinct, but let's not do what they did with Terminators. Yeah. Let's not do do-overs. Let's just accept that series went the way it went, and let's move on.
Yeah. Let's just exactly. Yeah, so I don't know. I think RoboCop's it can be over.
It can be, and it should be. Let's kill RoboCop, guys.
Let's shoot RoboCop in the non-existent dick.
Yes, exactly. Just wreck his dick. Pop it like a balloon. Yeah. Speaking of no good segues. Ewan McGregor is probably back as Obi-Wan for a Disney Plus series.
Cool. You know,
everybody wanted this. Yeah, everybody wanted this. Ewan, get that money. What's he up to? Is he up to anything?
Doing stuff with money, clearly.
Being one of them McGregors.
Disney wants you, and you got a little bit of leverage. You're going to be like, yeah, fuck yeah.
I mean, I think it was pretty agreed on, like, and there are other things that people like from the prequels, but the thing that it feels like everybody can agree on is him. It was just like, oh, that's perfect. What a perfect choice.
He's great. He did a good job with the shitty lines.
Yes.
Good job, man. You really pulled an all-nighter on that one, and we all thank you.
Yeah, he tried his hardest. Yeah, he really did.
It's just like the all-star of the shittiest team.
Yes,
in the pennant.
Right, he was making all this, all the points, all the points.
Yeah,
all
good
them
for him.
goals.
And I don't know what the Disney series. What is the new Disney series? Is it just like the Star Wars series? What is it? Is it?
I assume it's just here's where it gets weird in my head, because it's Disney Plus, so it's going to be like a TV show.
Yeah.
It's Ewan McGregor before his old man Obi-Wan. So he went into hiding, on what, Tatooine, and in the canon, he's just sort of an old man who goes into hiding for a while.
Can this just be Picard, but it's just called Obi?
Oh yes, I want a crossover. Yeah. Fuck it.
Fuck it all.
Yeah,
dude.
but that's
Burn
the thing. It's Ewan McGregor, so he's not an old man, but he's like middle age. So it's like middle age Obi-Wan going on, I don't know, adventures in between these two movies.
He starts a winery because he killed his best friend.
Yes,
almost.
God,
or he turned his best friend into like a Hitler. And it's basically the same arc as they did with the new ones with Luke. And he feels bad about it. And then he goes off to Tatooine to like just live in a hole.
Right. Man, the Jedi are really good at turning people into Hitlers.
Yeah, they really are. And
they're
they
a
all
Hitler factory.
They really just skirt under the rug what they do after they do that. Uh-huh. They just kind of like, yeah, and then just like in the future, he's just kind of in the dumpies.
Well, and then they fuck off into hiding. They're like, "Oops, made a Hitler. Whoopsie. Better crawl in this hut forever. Good luck, everybody."
Yep.
I fucked you all over, and now I'm gonna bounce. It's like, fuck you, Jedis. God, they suck.
If you need me though, I'll be here.
Yep.
I'll be reluctant. But then you'll bring me back.
We made a Hitler, and he killed all the children that we abducted to make soldiers. Mm-hmm. Whoops. Mm-hmm. Sorry, everyone.
Whoops.
Goddamn Jedi.
It's like when Picard killed not most, but a ton of humanity as a Borg.
Yep.
He just kind of...
it's different. It's different.
No,
he didn't mean to.
He didn't. He was under the influence of
Resistance is futile.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is pretty gnarly of him.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. Man, I do. Yeah. I just want Picard versus Obi-Wan. I want them have competing vineyards.
Yeah. No, of course, Picard's going to win because Obi-Wan has it on a sand planet.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a natural disadvantage, I
maybe
guess.
It's like the spice. Maybe you can make wine out of like the spice or something.
Sure.
I don't know. Maybe it's like Arrakis. Who knows? It's fucking Star Wars. It can be any planet.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't have to stay on that planet either. He can. There's spaceships.
I mean, wouldn't that kind of fuck you up if you were like, oh yeah, Obi-Wan, it's canon now. He arrived at like they call him like old man. What do they call him in Star Wars?
Old Ben Kenobi.
Old Ben Kenobi. You know, like, yeah, he just moved here like 6 months ago.
That's the thing. This is the problem with this series is that they're like, now he's going to go on adventures. And it's like, this is literally the period of his life where he's not going on adventures. Right. He's defeated. The whole point of that character is that he's just been hiding in the desert until he became an old man. Instead, they're going to posit a world in which Obi-Wan went into hiding, got bored, and got thrown into some crazy space adventure for, like 10 years and then settles back down.
So either it gets canceled at some point, we just don't have to think about it, or this new show ends with him creating another Hitler, so he has to go into... a cave. Because still the motivation for going into a cave is pretty specific, right? You're like, okay, yeah, I fucked up. So he has to fuck up majorly again.
What if, he creates another Hitler and kills him in this time? Mm-hmm. Like within the span, he's hiding from the other Hitler.
God damn it, I keep doing it.
Yeah.
I keep doing it.
And maybe he thinks that, like, maybe all the confusion of A New Hope is he thinks Luke's referring to the other Hitler that he created.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't, like, he goes to his grave not realizing, like, oh no, you're talking about the Hitler before that Hitler that I created.
That would change, because now he's like this Hitler son, and then the grandson Hitler would be Luke Skywalker. So that changes that scene where he gets struck down by Darth Vader, where he's just like, kill me. Why? Because I think I might be doing it again.
Yeah, I think I need to just get killed.
Luke Hitler.
Maybe he keeps naming them Vader afterwards too. Because it would like, okay, this would explain, like, maybe maybe he thought Luke's father was someone else, because he says, like, when I met him he was a great pilot, which isn't true, because when he met him he was a child. So maybe he's talking about another person, and it would fill in all the plot holes of, like, the prequels versus the New Hope. Yeah, maybe we just find out he's just a maniac, and he's just making Hitlers left and right.
Hitlers left and right, and feeling bad about it for like 6 months at a time.
Right. He goes out to dinner with someone. Next thing you know, they're killing younglings.
Yeah.
And he's like, what did I say? What did I do?
Which is crazy, because that's at the very best, all he did is he just made another Obi-Wan Kenobi out of Luke, who also made a Hitler. So we're just, at this point, it's very possible that we have like 3.5 Hitlers.
Something
made
like
in
that.
2 lifetimes. Because Luke isn't a Hitler. Like, he's the good one. But, like, that's why... But Obi-Wan died during that. So that's why it kind of was like... It was, like, about to become another Hitler. Like, it could have become another Hitler.
Right.
But because he died, Luke ended up fine.
Right.
And Obi-Wan's just a fucking...
Oh, I see. Yeah, he
garbage.
was like, this one's becoming a Hitler. Because, Luke almost becomes a Hitler.
Yeah.
He has a near Hitler experience.
Yeah. He, like, created Kylo Ren or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like we've worked it all out.
We worked it all out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it for the news stories.
Mm-hmm.
Abe, I want to tell you about a movie that I think deserves more hype.
Yeah.
This came out 2 days ago when when people are listening to this. It's called Las Reyes. It is 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Mind you, that's with a limited amount of critics. It's like 14 people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just about dogs. What happened is, according to the directors, they were they were recording. They were doing a documentary about these kids at a skate park. And these kids must have sucked so much, because they noticed these 2 old dogs were showing up every day, and they were like, "Hey, what's these dogs doing?" And so they just started filming the dogs, and the whole documentary is just about these really cool dogs. Like, they're just hanging out at the skate park.
Yeah, it's the trailer is, and the movie, therefore. By the way, isn't the movie like 78 minutes?
78 minutes long.
So it's like, it's really pushing it. Like, there's not a lot there. You basically are going there if you're going to see shots of 2 dogs and kids lightly talking over it about their own lives, but we don't give a shit.
The review says the canines don't too much. This isn't an attempt to anthropomorphize them, but they are mesmerizing to look at as they lie about and chew on soccer balls, bottles, branches, and at one point a brick, which must be the high point of the film.
Yeah, they worked up to brick.
Yeah.
No symbolism, nothing.
It's just dogs.
Just dogs.
Yeah, they say, like, there's no symbolism. Just dogs.
God, I actually
There's
I have
a couple of fucking dogs.
I have a lot of bummer things that my brain goes to when I see this, because I understand, and I want it said first and therefore most importantly. What a wonderful thing! Just 2 cute little dogs, or two big cute dogs.
Yeah.
Just having a good time, shot on good cameras, and you're just gonna go, and that's gonna be your day. What a great experience.
Right.
I wouldn't call this a movie.
Well, okay. Maybe there's a narrative in there.
No.
But it doesn't sound like there is. I mean, this reminds me of Ketty. Ketty is the cat documentary that's just following a bunch of cats. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I know what you're saying.
But it's not like
when
even that
like,
had an interesting, like, isn't this weird that this exists?
Right, yeah, the dogs
This is
are
just
like,
like,
check out
we
these
know
old
there
dogs.
are strays that live at dog parks. Yeah, we know. That's a part of dogs in American society.
Yeah, I mean, part of
and
this,
other societies. There's just dogs everywhere.
part of this feels like a documentary that went really wrong.
Yeah.
Like they were like, I like to imagine the producer like, so we sent you to that skate park to like discover like, you know, this like vast network of like skaters or like this hidden underground drug ring or something, and you just give like all the footage is dogs, and they're like, yeah, the dogs were pretty cool. Like we started filming the kids, like they clearly like were killing the kids, and we're just like, nothing's happening, kids suck. And then they saw the dogs, and they were like, check out these dogs. These dogs are way cooler than the, like, if you're gonna spend an hour and a half watching something with no plot, might as well be a couple of dogs and not some shitty kids.
That you make a fair point. Look, there's two things that went through my brain when I watched this trailer. The first, very quickly, is made me very depressed because you know, I'm in my mid-30s, and and I want to make movies, and there's a lot of struggles. It's a very competitive market, and you have a lot of reasons to doubt yourself, and they give these dogs a fucking movie.
Right.
So that's one.
Imagine being an actor, Hib, and watching this.
Yeah.
Being like, what the fuck?
I get it. You know, like, there's pluralities of films, and this is not like taking money. This is just kids who were making documentaries about kids and then decided the dogs were more interesting. It's not like they're taking something away from me, but it just, it's, you know, it's just one of those little dipsticks in time that make you go, The other thing I want to talk about is that, you know, what's going to happen after this movie comes out, right?
More dog movies?
Well, maybe. I mean, if it does really well, but definitely what's going to happen is they're going to find out where these dogs are. And somebody who's going to fall in love with these dogs is going to take the dogs.
Yeah, unless they're already got owners, like someone might adopt
someone
them.
from the production or something like that.
What if this does better than Endgame? What if this is like the next number one
next
film?
type of thing?
Yeah. Because everybody's just so burnt out with the world that they're like, you know what? I'm going to watch these dogs
only
from
dogs
now on.
from now on. Writers, directors, no longer. Go find other work elsewhere.
Yeah, it'll spawn a whole genre.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's I mean, it is very cute. There's this one game that they play where, in order to play, you know, because they don't have, the skaters are not, they're going there to skate. They're not there to play with the dogs 100% of the time.
Right.
So they have the tennis ball, which I assume one of the skaters gave them. Or maybe you know, because it's clear they do this. This is not something that happened for the movie. They do this from time to time. Is they use the slope of the half pipes and such and the ramps
to play with the ball.
To play with the ball themselves, and that's probably was what the directors were looking at and going like, look at that. They're adapting to their environment. That's a cool thing.
I also thought that this, I liked some of the way it was shot in the trailer. There's a shot of a little yappy dog barking at the big old dog, and the owner's like dragging the yappy dog off a frame, and the frame never changes. And then the other dog, the old dog's all sleepy, and it just kind of like looks up at the camera like, what the fuck was that?
Here's
and
another.
It's like a comedic beat.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was well put together. The shots themselves, I'm so glad that this was on this Hypecast, because if you look at the shots themselves, they love to do something that is like very slice of life, which is that like you have a shot at the bottom of the frame where it's just a paw, and the top of the frame like cuts off the dog like at the nose, so you don't even see its expressive eyes. It's just like parts of dog, or just here's a shot of a tennis ball. You know, here's a shot of like just the half pipe, and the dog runs out of focus behind it to kind of evoke this tone poem for you, where it's just like, oh, I'm just kind of sitting around at different spots and just kind of taking it all in. Famously kind of coined and altered and changed the way we shot. And I want to point out a film that was very instrumental in doing that, Tree of Life.
Yes, I was about to bring up Terrence Malick, because here's the previous complaint that Terrence Malick is like, I don't want to watch Sean Penn like aimlessly walk around, but replace him with a dog, and I'll watch the shit out of that.
So
it's just like, let's artistically shoot dogs, and it's like,
this beats the shit out of whatever. I've even forgotten what
I don't
the
even
movie was
remember.
called.
Yeah,
The new Terrence Malick movie.
Oh
like,
my
just
God,
box office
yes.
beats. And then Terrence Malick decides to just like, okay, I see where it is, and he just shoots it shot for shot, but replaces the two dogs with Sean Penn.
Sean Penn playing with a ball and a
Playing
half
with a ball, licking his paws.
Aww.
You know,
There's a
getting
good old Sean
fed-
Penn.
Getting fed some turkey bacon.
Mhm. God, I really hope this beats the shit out of Terrence Malick.
Oh,
it-
and it would be such a bad thing for movies,
I
and
don't
kind
know.
of make me
I think
happy.
I think it would be a good thing for Terrence Malick films. Like, I think here's the thing: this is never going to actually replace Avengers Endgame.
Mhm.
But it might replace Terrence Malick films where people realize, like, okay, if you want that artsy shit,
It
might
won't,
as well
but,
film
yeah.
something that we like looking at. That
Yeah,
isn't.
It's like art
Nobody
house.
likes looking at
Pulp
Sean Penn.
art house. Pulp art
Yeah.
house. It's fine.
Yeah,
I
it's like
see
if
what
you're going to
saying.
make art house films that are boring and long, because we're going to make those no matter what, might as well put some good old dogs in it. Might as
Yeah,
well have a
just-
good
just-
puppy in there.
Yeah, just 72 minutes of it, or 78 minutes of it. The
Tell a little story with some dogs.
I also like the idea that the dogs are really taking this shit seriously, and when they see the edited film, they're like, "What the fuck? You just cut right out of my like sentence." You know, like, you piece of
Yeah.
shit. Do you know how to direct and edit? Like, I'm
the
giving
fuck
you
is
gold
this?
over here,
Yeah.
you fucking hacks.
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah,
had
they've
the
gone
whole
through a
arc.
lot.
They had a whole arc where, like, you know, it got really deep in there. Is all I'm saying. Real Terrence
I
Malick.
was just like, I did 20 takes of that. Did you?
Yeah,
What the
yeah.
fuck?
The ball obviously symbol. What do you think the ball symbol? You're not even answering my question.
The dogs are like two little Kubricks.
Yeah, two little coobs.
Yeah, little
Mhm.
Coobs.
Mm-hmm. Their names
those
are
good dog.
Football and Chola, and the film
Yeah.
is Los Reyes.
Los Reyes. Everybody fucking check out the trailer at least, and I think watch it.
I mean, yeah, it's. Here's the thing.
Watch
I also
into the
love
Terrence Malick. Watch
I love the
into the
review. It says the resulting film, which was shot over 2 years, but breezes through its 78-minute running time.
Yes.
Means breezes through 78 minutes is like, I don't even know what the analogy, but it's like basically he's just the reviewer is just saying, like, I sat down, watched it. It didn't overstay its welcome or not.
Yeah.
It was fine. I enjoyed watching dogs for 78 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
It's basically like I thought this was going to be a living hell, but
Yeah.
it went by quicker than I thought.
Yeah, because
So
it's
we're good.
short
Yeah.
and I don't know. I like dogs.
Some good dogs in it. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
I just want to know
doggies.
what the kids thought about this.
The
You're
kids,
gonna make a
I like to
documentary
think the
about
kids.
us?
The
Cool.
kids watched it later and they're like, "What the
The
fuck?"
You found the dogs more interesting than this? And he's like,
Hmm.
yeah, kid. You guys you're talking about nothing.
I
And
like
then
to think the
and then
kids were assholes, and they're like, "You know what, kids? We're shooting the dogs.
We're shooting the
Fuck
dogs, you
kids."
motherfuckers. But
Yeah.
the beauty of this is all the kids look like they're anywhere from like 11 to 17.
Yeah.
So when they're 25, you know, they're going to be like, I'm so glad that they didn't make that documentary
Yes.
about me.
That might have been it too, where they're just like, "Man, this is
Dodged a
embarrassing."
bullet.
Yeah.
Dodged a bullet there.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody check this out. I think that's it for our fabulous Hypecast episode, Abe.
Oh,
Um,
you guys
I
did
wa-
it. Even though we're Tomless. I
Yeah.
mean, he did get raptured. We
Tom
have
got
to make a
raptured
note of
halfway
it.
through.
I don't know what does this mean for Gamefully Unemployed for you? What does this mean for the
I'll
brand?
figure it out. I don't know.
Is there microphones in heaven?
God, I hope not.
Do they
I don't
do
want to hear
Discord?
what they're doing up there. All that fucking. You know they're fucking like mad up there.
Oh yeah, Tom's fucking right now. He's
Yeah,
been there for like 20 minutes. He's already fucking.
He's yeah, man. He's doing blow off of Mother Teresa right now. Because that's what you do in heaven.
Everybody does that.
Oh yeah,
And that's just what Mother Teresa's version of heaven is too.
Mhm.
All
Yeah,
right.
we're all marching to the beat of her drum. It's just like she's like, "Listen up, fuckers."
Blow
I had
on me.
I had a fucking boring ass life. I was good. Y'all rewarded me. Now we're doing
Dude.
blow.
And they're like, God, do you have anything to say? No, it's heaven blow, dude. No,
Heaven blow?
no consequences.
No consequences.
Yeah, we're going to hell.
Good stuff. We're going to hell where the blow sucks.
Where the blow is hell blow.
Hell blow is the worst.
Yeah, it makes you irritable.
Mm-hmm.
It does not get you high.
No.
And you grow hooves.
Stepped on like mad. Yeah, you grow the hooves.
Fuck.
Abe, thank you so much for joining me on this journey.
Hey.
Can you do me a favor, Abe?
Yeah.
Could you plug stuff? Could you plug your stuff?
I fucking hate this part. Yeah, sure. I don't know, watch the dog movie.
Sure. Yeah. Everybody.
You can find me on the Twitter, on the Mighty, one word, and I do a thing called Small Beans with Michael Swaim, and we have a show called Off Hours, which is much like the Crack Show that you may have seen that has shared a similar name. And you can find that and on the YouTubes or the internets. It's called Small Beans.
Do it. I should probably quickly plug. We have patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We have exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman and Fox Mulder is a Maniac. And then also we have tpublic.com/stores/gamefullyunemployed. And there's t-shirts. You can wear them. And finally, just leave us an Apple Podcast review. We've been adding that one, and I like it. I read them. I like it. Gets me off.
Yeah, and if you guys can get real quick on the Chris Cooper dab emoji that I know you're all been working on for the last hour.
Cooper dab.
Put those in the comments and stuff.
Yeah, tell us, man. I don't know what to tell us. Tell us how you think Chris Cooper would dab. Is it special? Is it like a special Cooper dab?
It's a sad dad dab.
Sad dad dab. Oh, Coops. All right. Say goodbye, Abe.
Bye.
Bye.
Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, Corlew, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown, and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.